Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor, and let's straight get to the point. So guys, this video is gonna be a different kind of a video. I don't make usually such videos, but this particular guy, I have been watching his videos since past quite a long time, and I don't have any problems with his any of the videos, but regarding German real estate, he has been spreading quite a lot of misinformation in the minds of everyone, and especially those who look up to him, because he has quite a good amount of following, and he's usually into this business of bringing people or guiding people or students to come to Germany for studies. And I don't know why he's then spreading some misinformation about the German real estate. Anyways, so there are a few points which he's totally wrong about. I do agree with him that some parts of German real estate are quite expensive, which is okay. But the video which he recently released on his one of his finance channels, and saying that, first of all, comparing the southern eastern part of Europe's real estate compared to Germany is completely wrong. But anyways, this was not about the country where he is doing his business or residing at this particular moment. It was more about a fact that people should not depend upon the credit from the banks to pay off the mortgage, and people should not depend upon the rental income from a tenant to pay off the mortgage. Now, this is not completely wrong, but making a statement that don't buy real estate based on one experience or one of his experience, which I will share further in this video, or saying that other YouTubers who talk about buying all of the real estate with credit is totally wrong, or it's totally risky. This statement is quite wrong. And now I will explain why this is wrong in my opinion. And guys, just before we proceed, I would like to make it clear, I'm not shaming anyone. That's why I'm not taking this guy's name. He's a YouTuber and I'm not taking his name. And why the hell I'm making this video? Because there are many students, aspiring students, who would like to come to Germany. There are many Indians, many Pakistanis, many people who might watch his videos from different cultures, different countries, who might get influenced by what this person is actually saying. And that's the reason of making this video, because I would like to spread some information also on my part, because as a YouTuber out here, I feel that I have a responsibility to also spread some information which I think is actually some misinformation spread or given by some other person out there. And because there are many people who are aspiring to buy real estate and want to move one step ahead in their lives by acquiring some real estate, and real estate is one piece of asset which is a tangible asset and which actually makes sense for acquiring during times of recession, during times of inflation, deflation, because even if the price of the property goes down, because in long term it will always appreciate, but with inflation you also get higher rental income. So real estate is the only one thing which actually pays you even in times of problems. Yeah, completely opposite what this person actually said. I do agree with some of his points, which I will cover in this video, but just to make it clear why and the purpose of making this video. So recently he uploaded a video on one of his finance channels that he had a really bad experience with his apartments. Now, first point right here, his experience with his apartment was in southern eastern part of Europe. So he is established in southern eastern part of Europe, and the problem was that for only 1 month his apartment was not rented. So he, based on this fact, he just made a conclusion that all of the people out there who are making or let's say promoting that taking a loan, taking credit is quite good, and buy all your properties and real estates only based on credit, this phenomena is gonna hurt us, okay? Because he is not taking any credit. He doesn't like credit. It's okay. It's his personal choice. He doesn't like credits, taking credits, because he would like to sleep peacefully at night. So for that sake, he is buying properties with all of the cash. We are not that rich, okay? And all 99% of my viewers who are watching my channel are not that rich either. So the problem with him was that his apartment was empty for 1 month. He had some problems with cracks on the walls and stuff like that, and the person just left the apartment without any notice. And based on just this one experience from one of his apartments, he concluded that taking a personal loan and just depending upon the rental income to pay off your debt, not a personal loan, a housing loan, to pay off your debt or mortgage is risky. Now, yes, that is risky, in fact. And I have made several videos that the risk factor should always be there. Doesn't matter real estate market, even in stock market. Why do we put a margin of safety? What is margin of safety? So even in the stock market, you put margin of safety. So if you remember, so if you guys have ever seen a discounted cash flow model when you are trying to evaluate a company, evaluate a business with respect to its cash flow, and you discount it back to the present from the future, then you are putting a margin of safety, which is called discount rate. So you put 10%, you put 15%, you put 20% based upon your margin of safety, or the return which you expect based on the current fundamental status of that particular business. So this margin of safety, or let's say the opposite, margin of error, is in every investment. So why I explain this margin of safety? Because coming back to his point, he said that based on this one particular problem, that the apartment was vacant for a month, you should not be dependent upon the rental income to pay off the mortgage. His point is right. But just based on this one problem, he mentioned that you should not be taking any loans. Because if you depend on the rental income, there's a risk that there won't be any rental income, and therefore you won't be able to pay your mortgage because you didn't plan accordingly. Are you kidding me? So the reason behind explaining the margin of safety in the stock market as well, you put a margin of safety of 10, 15, 20%. Yeah, that means these are the returns which you expect, right? This is the discount rate which you're applying in your discounted cash flow model. And in Germany, the vacancy rate for the rental apartments or the apartments is 2 to 2.5%. 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 times lower than your discount rate which you are applying in your discounted cash flow model for a business to calculate its evaluation. So how the hell this makes sense that you don't invest into real estate, but stock market is absolutely fine? Yes, I do understand. I agree with one thing here, that we shouldn't be dependent upon the rental income completely, but that's the reason why I say that invest into businesses which has a much higher return on your investment, and that is possible in Germany. I have made a lot of videos, you can check the iCards above. If someone tells you otherwise, that such returns are not possible in Germany, they are bullshitting you. I have real proofs. I have shown you all the contracts, all the rental agreements in those videos with real proofs, real signatures. It's possible. How I can't show anything else. And if someone else tells you otherwise, then let him or let her talk to me. I can prove them wrong with all the real proofs. Anyways, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is that that's why you are planning to acquire a real estate asset which gives you a much higher return, a high return compared to the interest rate which you are paying. Yeah, and even guys, even if the return is 5%, let's say, it's a good return on your investment. But now, since the interest rates from the banks are also 4 to 5%, let's say, then you won't have a positive cash flow. Yeah, but doesn't matter. Consider it as an SIP, because you might have to pay just maybe 300-400 euros extra from your pocket. Consider this as an SIP for your real estate investment trust in the stock market, the REITs which you invest in, and you're actually acquiring an asset. So this all is completely, it doesn't make sense. So don't be afraid, especially for the students who are coming to Germany and want to, after the job, have to increase their reach, acquire some real asset, know about investments. Don't fall into this trap of not taking a debt. So when I say that your return should be 7-8%, what I mean by that is that your return should be higher than the interest rate from the bank. So for example, now the interest rate might be 4 or 5%. You should acquire, or you should look in for an investment which is yielding you a return of 7-8%. And like I said, if someone tells you otherwise, it's not possible, it's BS. Many proofs out there anyways. So why? Because when you are yielding a much higher return than what the interest rates are, and plus the principal amount which you will pay, let's say the Tilgung, which we call it in German, if the Tilgung and the Zinsen together will, let's say, be 6-7%, and you're acquiring an asset which is yielding you 8-9%, that means you're 100% in positive cash flow. And all of my properties, all of my 12 properties, each and every single property yield me a positive cash flow. So considering his point that if the apartment is vacant, so even if 1, 2, 3 apartments for me are vacant, even then I am at par because of my positive cash flow, because my loan agreements are at a fest Zinsen of 0.9 to 1.6% max. All of my loans are in this range, the interest rate. And the yield or the return on my investments are from 6 to 9%. Yeah, and I have made a video on that as well. So even then, even if you're not yielding a positive return on your investment, so like I explained, consider this as an SIP plan, have some extra money in your pocket, and be prepared for it, because this is common sense that there is a possibility that the apartment might get empty, but the possibility is quite less compared to what he said, because he's sitting in a southern eastern part of Europe where the chances are pretty high of getting a vacant apartment compared to Germany where we have a lot of demand. So I have given all the statistics also in my past videos. I wouldn't bother you guys with all of that stuff again. How much is the vacancy rate? How much is the demand? How much is the supply? How the supply is happening? A lot of the time, he just gives an example of Berlin real estate. Yes, Berlin is becoming a problematic state, but that doesn't mean the whole Germany will be like that. Yeah, in that case, we should consider not to invest in any part of the world because of, some government policies coming into play. Because on the other hand, you should also know that government is also actually planning to get more people, more skilled laborers. And if they are planning to get more skilled laborers, how the hell they are going to accommodate them? Houses, buildings, right? And they cannot make everything in one go. So the demand is rising, the supply is limited. Simple economics, simple maths have given you guys. So guys, that's why please don't be afraid of taking loans. And one last thing I would like to add is because the loans are the only single thing provided by the banks in your benefit. This is your tool to fight against those printing machines. The government is printing money, then why the hell you would like to save money? Invest it, right? Investment is the only tool through which you can actually fight against that inflationary currencies. And the banks have given you a tool to leverage that money, which is called a credit. And do you pay taxes on credit? No. You are borrowing the money and you're not paying taxes on that. In fact, you get tax benefits on your real estate and on the interest income from the credit which you have received. So there is no problem in taking credit. Use it wisely and take it wisely, and it will be helpful for you. It will work in your favor. The money which you borrowed from the banks will work in your favor. So don't be afraid to take a risk, and the risk should always be calculated. That's what I always say. I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep investing mindfully, peacefully, stay calm, invest. See you in the next one. Ciao.